Shocking. 90% of lemur species could vanish within our lifetime. This is not a distant myth but an urgent alarm. We owe these small primates our curiosity, our protection, and perhaps our very compassion. Quick 8-second visual hook dramatic footage of deforested Madagascar, close-up lemur eyes. Welcome, I'm glad you're here. Over the next 8 minutes I will walk with you through Madagascar's forests and into the astonishing lives of its lemurs, creatures found nowhere else on Earth, each a thread in a wild tapestry under threat. You will see diversity, from the mouse lemur, no larger than a hamster, to the towering indri whose song shakes the canopy. We'll meet dancers, divers, and extraordinary foragers, and we will learn how tiny everyday choices ripple across a whole island. Stay with me. These stories are urgent, and they are beautiful. Lemurs live nowhere else on Earth. Madagascar is their only home. I say home because for over 50 million years, these primates have evolved in isolation upon this island, crafting lives matched precisely to its forest's spiny thickets, mangrove edges. When I walk beneath Malagasy canopies, I feel I'm in a theater of evolution. Every species a unique actor shaped by time. There are roughly 100 recognized species and subspecies of lemur today, a remarkable variety confined to a single, fragile place. That statistic should both astonish and unsettle us. To understand lemurs is to understand Madagascar itself, the soil, the seasons, the rhythms of flowering and fruiting. Each lemur lineage tells a chapter of isolation, adaptation, exquisite specialization. In their stories, we read the island's deep natural history. Endemism here is absolute. No mainland cousin, no distant relatives in African forests. The islands split from Africa millions of years ago set the stage for an evolutionary experiment. Lemurs arrived radiated and filled a myriad of roles. I have watched them forage, leap, sing, and nurse young beneath leaves that exist only here. In Madagascar, the word unique is not an exaggeration. It is a warning and an invitation to marvel. From tiny mouse lemurs to the giant indri, lemurs show astonishing variety. Imagine the smallest primate, the mouse lemur, weighing scarcely more than a cup of tea, its bright eyes scanning the night hunting insects and fruit. Contrast that with the indri. Towering black and white haunting calls pierce the dawn and carry across valleys. This size range reflects divergent evolutionary paths, each species adapting to a precise way of life. Every species occupies a particular ecological niche, a role in the orchestra of the forest. Mouse lemurs, nimble and nocturnal senses honed for night hunting, opportunistic feeding. They whisper through branches, trusting stealth and speed. The indri, largely folivorous, moves with deliberate power, gripping trunks, bounding between branches with astonishing coordination. Its vocalizations carry long distances, reinforcing pair bonds and territorial claims. Between these extremes are Sifakas, sportive lemurs, bamboo specialists, and the enigmatic ii, each adapted to a particular resource or habitat. As a naturalist, I am struck by the subtle morphological cues, dental specializations for chewing leaves, long snouts for scenting out ripe fruit, and hands and feet, uniquely suited to gripping and leaping. The variability of tails, some long and expressive, others reduced, speaks to social communication and balance. The richness of lemur diversity offers both scientific insight and conservation urgency. The ring-tailed lemur is the most photographed, famous for its dramatic tail and sunbasking. With its black and white striped tail held high like a pennant, this species captures the imagination of visitors and scientists alike. Unlike many arboreal lemurs, ringtails spend significant time on the ground, moving with purposeful strides across open, spiny forest gallery woodland. Their tails serve as a social flag, an unmistakable emblem in motion signaling group cohesion as they travel. But look closely. Ring-tailed lemurs are not merely photogenic. They possess intricate social lives. Troops of up to 30 individuals exhibit strict hierarchies, matriarchal leadership, playful rituals. Sunbasking is common. Groups spread across warm rocks branches, faces turned to the sun to absorb heat after cool nights. This behavior is not leisure alone. It is an adaptive strategy to regulate body temperature and conserve energy, especially where food availability fluctuates. Their scent marking is equally fascinating. Males and females both possess scent glands and engage in complex olfactory signaling. smearing, rubbing, and even stink fights between males as a competitive display during mating season. The ringtail's versatility, ground travel, arboreal foraging, sunbathing, and elaborate social cues makes it an ecological generalist and a species many people can readily observe in the wild. Yet their visibility is a double-edged sword. Because people love them, ring-tailed lemurs are often captured for tourism or the pet trade, and their habitats are fragmented by charcoal production and slash-and-burn agriculture. Sifakas dance across the ground with their signature sideways hop, an astonishing locomotion. Watch them in motion, upright, arms held wide, long legs propelling a graceful lateral bound across open forest floor. This terrestrial locomotion is an elegant compromise. Sifakas are primarily leapers among trees, yet when they must cross bare ground, they perform a remarkable bipedal sidestep. In the canopy, Sifakas are nothing short of aerial acrobats. They launch themselves between trunks and branches, twisting mid-air to grasp a new perch with lightning precision. Their powerful hind limbs and long tail for balance are perfectly adapted for such dramatic aerial maneuvers. Sifakas are also specialists in diet and sociality. Some species favor seasonal leaves, others rely more heavily on fruit and flowers. Their digestive systems reflect these choices. Family groups maintain territories and exhibit striking social bonds, grooming, coordinated alarms, and shared parenting. These behaviors reinforce group cohesion, helping them survive in fragmented habitats where resources are patchy and unpredictable. Their unique locomotion and ecology remind us how evolution finds imaginative solutions to environmental challenges. When we see a Sifaka's sideways hop, we are watching a lineage's long experiment with movement, balance, and survival. Protecting their forest corridors means preserving not only their bodies but their extraordinary dances across the landscape. The ii uses a long middle finger to tap branches in the dark and extract insects, a tool-like adaptation that astonishes naturalists. In the dim understory, the ii percussion taps branches, listening with acute ears for hollow chambers where larvae hide. When it detects a cavity, it gnaws a hole with rodent-like incisors, then probes with an elongated skeletal middle finger and extracts the grub. This method, called percussive foraging, is a rare example of tool-like behavior in a primate. Despite its ingenuity, the ii has long been surrounded by myth and superstition among local communities. In some areas, it was feared as an omen and killed on sight to ward off misfortune. Those cultural beliefs, combined with habitat loss, helped drive its decline. But when we approach with curiosity rather than fear, we find an animal of remarkable evolutionary consequence, one that shows how a single morphological twist can open an ecological niche. The ii's morphology is a study in specialization, continually growing in sizes to gnaw wood, sensitive ears tuned for hollow sounds that probing digit as precise as any instrument. Lemurs fill key roles, seed dispersers and pollinators, vital to Madagascar's forests. As they move from tree to tree, consuming fruit and nectar, they carry seeds in fur or within gut passages, depositing them in new locations where a future forest may grow. Some lemurs specialize in particular fruits, others pollinate flowers with dramatic efficiency, their faces dusted with pollen after sipping nectar. These interactions shape which plants thrive, and in turn which animals the forest can support. Take the traveler's tree, baobab trees, plants reliant on lemur visitors to spread seed and recruit saplings. Without lemurs, the regeneration of many tree species slows or fails, altering forest structure across generations. The forest is not merely a backdrop, it's a living system maintained by these interactions. In Madagascar, every fruit eaten and every seed carried matters to the long-term resilience of the island. Habitat loss, hunting and climate change push many lemurs toward extinction, up to 90% threatened. The pace of forest clearance here has been relentless. Trees felled for charcoal, land converted to crops, and forests fragmented into small, isolated patches. Hunting for bushmeat and capture for the illegal pet trade further reduce populations already weakened by habitat loss. Combine these pressures with shifting rainfall patterns from climate change, and you have a perfect storm for decline. But there is reason for guarded optimism. Protected areas and local conservation efforts have made measurable differences in places. Madagascar's network of national parks and community-managed reserves safeguards critical habitats for many species. International conservation organizations, working with local NGOs and communities, support habitat restoration, alternative livelihoods, and education programs. Where these approaches work together, combining habitat protection with community engagement and sustainable economic opportunities, lemur populations can stabilize and even recover. Ecotourism, when managed responsibly, provides economic incentives for conservation while funding research and protection efforts. Corridor restoration projects reconnect fragmented habitats, allowing lemurs to move safely between forest patches. The future of Madagascar's lemurs depends on our choices today. Protecting forests, supporting local communities, and maintaining the delicate connections that make Madagascar one of the world's most extraordinary places. The choice is ours.